Carnage podcast. Today we have a special episode. This is the second band back from the first season. Yeah, so second revival from season 1. Guys, we have Stonewolf. Thank you very much for coming on. Just for anybody who hasn't seen the first episode, go from my right to introduce yourself and to say what you do in the band.
I'm Micah. I play bass, and sometimes I also scream.
I'm Issa. I do guitar and also do vocals.
I'm Oscar. I do guitar and vocals as well.
I'm Mark, and I do the drums.
So we probably will hit some of the questions that we've already hit in the first episode, but fortunately we have a lot of shit that we're going to talk about, like, just outside, because there's been a lot of updates since our first episode. But just as a preface, in case we hit some questions that we talked about on that first season. So when did Stonewolf originally form?
Shit, when was it? We started playing together in, was it 2015 now?
2015 is kind of official, because it was 2014 when we met, and we kind of you had spitballed the idea of doing like a band, and
based
I
on our
kind
Dungeons
of
and
played
Dragons
guitar.
campaign. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And so you were over, it was my first semester at college, and you were like, hey, over winter break, learn this riff that you had.
One riff, yeah.
And
yeah,
so over winter break, I started
Are
practicing.
you using that riff at all?
Yes.
We are.
Attack
That
of the
riff
Witch
is, I thought it was Abyss Walker.
No, Attack.
Dude.
The debate.
No. Okay,
Abyss Walker
was
was first.
Attack of the Witch Cult
Was the first song that we
Together.
co-wrote. Yeah.
And I lived with you while you were learning that.
Oh, wow. What year was this? 2014 or
2015. No,
2015.
that was still when I was living in West Hall with Jack.
Was it?
Remember Jack?
But y'all moved into the Rockstar apartments like right around
College.
that
It
time.
was College Inn or whatever.
It was the
called.
same.
Yeah, college.
That was my second year. Anyways,
Long story short.
unimportant. I would say Stonewolf, in its iteration, currently started in what was it, 2018?
I was gonna say
It was like March is when we picked up
Me.
No, January is when we picked up you, and then like May-ish
Yeah.
is when we picked up
So
Micah
did this
on
all
bass.
happen in like a period of about a year?
No, we were playing together with a different drummer for
Like
about
3
years.
years.
Just kind of
Not
writing and stuff.
Not bad.
not Ghost Gandalf, right?
Gandalf.
Gandalf. Yeah.
Yeah.
We call him Gandalf. Anyways.
He goes by Gandalf.
They won't ever tell me his actual age.
His name's Gandalf. He's
They
90.
won't.
He's 100 this year.
They won't
Is
tell
he?
me his
Yeah,
age.
he turned
how old
100 this
actually
year.
is.
I also don't know his age.
Ever since
He's
I've known
100.
them, they
100.
won't tell me.
He's 100 years old.
Anyways.
That means he's like 42.
Yeah, we played,
43.
we were playing and writing and doing a lot of stuff.
Old enough he doesn't want to admit it.
To make a long
You
story,
shall not
I have to know. I
pass.
have to know.
Well, okay, so the reason we call him Gandalf, not to totally cut Issa off, but he has a beard that's like all the way down. All the way down. His beard is super long. It's
You don't know
Gandalf
when
like.
we
you started the
specifically
beard
call him
ends.
Gandalf the Red because he's red.
He's got a long red beard. And
This is all true.
Anyways, to make a long story short, Gandalf didn't want to play shows. We did, so we found a new drummer, Mark.
I thought he
and
was
then
your vocalist, honestly.
we played
How
like
do you play drums with a beard that long?
we,
Like you step on it, right?
but we played I think 2 shows, just the 3 of us.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
we were tuned to drop B, so we're like, we're low enough. We don't need bass.
Just
But
somebody
then-
hit a low note.
right?
And I took photos of the first show.
He was
Right.
he was present at like actually both our
At Abbey
first 2
Underground.
shows.
Abbey
But
Underground.
then we were like, hey, maybe we should get a bassist.
The more we listened back to our like very first shows, it was like, oh, there's actually something really missing on our low end, and it was like, we don't want someone who's like, necessarily some random. We want someone who has good chemistry with us, and so we asked
Well,
Micah.
also,
to
we
draw
were
some
appreciation for the music, which that is something
That's
that all
another-
of y'all
yeah.
like. Every single one of y'all has a part to play in this music.
This guy definitely appreciates music.
Yes.
I did not know that. For those of you who do not know yet, this episode's releasing after everything's already gone, but I've recently stolen him as a vocalist for my band. So.
We're sharing. We're co-oping. It's fine.
Oh,
It's
that's
a time
not what I
share.
said.
It's a time.
Hey, who's producing what here? All right, so what is some of y'all's personal influences, and then what are some influences you bring to this project? What's some of your biggest drum influences?
I was gonna say, let's start this way.
man.
Yeah.
Biggest drum
do-
influences, and then what you bring to this.
I'll just
band.
kind of go with bands.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Strokes for sure. Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold.
So you like suing people, eh?
Those are just like we were talking about it earlier, but like the big name bands for me, they were kind of the entry point of kind of learning. Oh, that they're doing this on the drums. I can kind of copy and mimic this here or there. And I found it really interesting. So like bands like Foo Fighters and you know, stuff like that.
Well, my favorite part about Dave Grohl is the fact you go from one of the biggest bands in the world as a drummer to one of the biggest vocalists in the world.
Frontman.
And like,
Frontman,
the swap, and it's just like, no, I'm gonna do this. Let's do this.
For
All
sure.
right, cool. And it'd be a cliche or a fucking stroke of luck if it wasn't for the fact that he's still doing it.
He's still doing it.
Like,
exactly.
still.
You know what?
If you're gonna sidetrack about Foo Fighters, it can't just be a stroke of luck. He has realized.
Well,
Dave
that's what
Grohl's
I'm
realized
saying.
his
It was-
role.
He
plays it perfectly.
My amazement is the concept of going from like being a drummer to a frontman. Those are two like complete inverse roles.
For
in
sure,
there.
for
like
sure.
it really like
for sure.
like because as a drum, like I don't know. Every time I get to play drums, I feel like I get to hide behind the fucking kick and the snare, which is the most important part in some of the bands and the song. But whenever it comes to like vocals or like being right there, then all of a sudden the anxiety fucking hit. But at the same time, like quiet parts on drums, talk about fucking nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you gotta play.
You gotta
more-
be-
You have to
Yeah,
make sure
you
the
have to be
timing
perfect.
is
That
locked.
Exactly.
but because all of a sudden you're front and center. It's like, you know, two different inverses of the fucking band.
Yeah.
So
okay,
we have your influences.
Foo Fighters.
Any
I
other
would-
drummers?
I would
like-
even kind of go back
well,
to say this.
for this band, what would you say for the stoner metal band is your biggest like drum?
This is, I guess, kind of to add to the list of what I just gave. I kind of would go back to say like church stuff too. Surprisingly, like learning.
Oh well, church stuff is
learning-
all about pocket.
For sure, yeah, stay in the pocket, but I feel like
Play appropriately.
yeah,
Don't be out of there. Which is
Learning
something
when
that
to
like
be
metal
quiet
is not something
and when to
you
be
can do.
loud.
But I
Play
think
low.
yeah.
Don't shine.
I
The
think
amount of times that worship pastors drilled dynamics into
yeah.
my head.
Want to go high, want to go low.
And
Exactly,
that's
for
where
sure,
dynamics
for
is
sure.
control.
I think a lot of that had a lot of influence on me too. So,
Oh, yeah.
and
Well,
with being in this band, you got to have being in the pocket when it come out of the pocket. So
You'll do like dynamics is a big thing about y'all because
For
when
sure.
y'all go
For sure.
big, y'all all have
Yep.
to fucking go big.
Yep.
When
Yep.
y'all all duck down, you
Exactly.
all have to duck down.
Yep.
So, what about you? Some of your bigger influences, like big
I-
influences for yourself, and then influences that
For
you
myself.
think for this band.
So I'm going to say a band.
Coheed,
I don't-
obviously. Coheed
Yeah.
and Cameron.
Besides,
Ah! Punch him in the throat.
so I'm not even going to talk about Coheed this time. So whenever I was young and really learning to write, I would rewrite Norma Jean songs because I was learning how to hear the screams and hear what he was saying, and I would sometimes mishear what the lyrics were saying, and I would write my own kind of interpretation on the lyrics. And so kind of having like really mathy and long and poetic verses and choruses really inspired my writing growing up and even into my adulthood. As far as like my guitar parts, however, a lot of my influence comes from Whores, Red Fang, Coheed and Cambria, a lot of the proggy stuff. But even then, going back to...
I've said many times on the podcast, and I have no problem admitting, I love Coheed's guitar writing.
The early stuff is something
Well,
exceptional.
they have some amazing parts.
Well,
I don't. Fortunately, they have the female fan base to prove
really
that I
do.
am wrong.
They really do.
But I always wanted to.
Women
just
love
punch him.
Claudio.
Like I wanted to shake my fist with a big
They
ass
do.
class ring on it, like a high school fucking varsity ring right here. Yeah, punch him right in the
Sing
throat.
now,
Just,
bitch.
ah!
Yeah.
Whoa, then he'd be
okay, I
because
wanna-
the motherfucker has such a good scream.
High, yeah.
Well, he has a
Range.
good. Well,
His
he
range.
also occasionally does some death metal
Yeah.
lows. Occasionally.
That's not Claudio. That's Travis.
Let the other motherfucker vocalist.
Anyways, I want to give. Before we move on to Issa, I want to give like one other influence that I really don't talk about, and it's My Chemical Romance.
Oh, nice.
But it's only 2 albums. It is I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, which is their very first release, and then 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which is their first major record release. Frank Iroh is a
He's-
underrated guitarist. Thank
I
you.
like him a lot. He's cool.
And the amount of like horror punk and like emo screamo that they brought into the scene and those early releases is something that stayed with me, and I still will listen to MCR to this
Them
day.
and the U's fall into the definition.
I saw them with Coheed,
The
actually, while we're
perfect
talking
definition
Oh, wow.
I saw they used with Coheed.
of guilty pleasure. Like whenever
Yeah.
I was the young, angry
Yep.
metalhead who kicked people in mosh pits while they did
Yeah.
the hardcore dancing, that angry person of me, fucking the Used and My Chemical Romance were so fucking good, and they still fucking have amazing songs. Now it's just a matter of like
Well, while
that
we're talking
that
about
is fresh,
hold on.
that itch
Well-
back in the day.
While we're talking about MCR and Coheed, Travis from Coheed and Frank Iroh of MCR have just started a band together.
That's cool.
They're called Ellis Shore.
Fuck
And
yeah.
the first track has the vocalist of Thursday, and it's pretty fucking good.
All right, so
But-
moving on to Issa. Also Kevin,
Kevin Issa.
Oscar and
or
I,
as we know him, Kisa.
no one knows me as that. That's the first time I've heard that one.
It's
We're
time
gonna-
to stop.
We're gonna. Oscar and I share a lot of influences, mainly because he showed me a lot of bands that I was like, oh, okay, I really like this.
What bands?
Okay, Red Fang, Coheed, He Is Legend. Those are The Sword, and
I did show you a lot of good shit.
He really,
Easy there,
Wizard?
later.
Wizard. I wouldn't call that an influence for this band.
No, not for this band, but just like a good
Yeah,
band.
yeah, for sure.
Fucking Electric Wizard.
is great.
So, question for the band, and this is kind of considering I've produced y'all for a long time, I still don't have the answer, honestly, for personally. Who's y'all's lead guitarist?
The same person who's our front man.
good one. Good one.
It's
I'm
me.
gonna-
we
I'm
hired
gonna
him.
get to Oscar.
Me.
Yeah.
Bring those punchlines to the fucking stage, bud.
The real
That's fair.
reason that I would classify myself as the lead guitarist is because I focus a lot more on rhythm. Issa is a better lead line player, with the tap and tremolo. He's got a lot of creative things.
For the record, I was fucking with y'all.
No, I think about this.
No,
I really
no.
do think about
You're
this.
better.
You're
You're
better
better
would
with
cause a
lead
debate.
I think we've established now. I'm kind of like the clean vocalists.
Yes.
You do a lot of the. I think your lead lines are a lot better, personally.
I appreciate
The
that.
sweeps, we have do.
I have
We
no
okay.
answer on
Here's
this.
the
I'm
thing.
just curious to know.
styles.
We branched to differentiate ourselves because because we do a lot of collaborative writing. We decide we didn't decide it, but it just naturally happened that we kind of branched paths as far as our lead styles.
Where you focus
So
as
that
a
we can-
guitarist.
yeah.
And this is only going to be interesting to
Alright,
guitarists.
so this question will shelve till fucking episode 3 for y'all.
So,
anyways.
so the answer is
He-
both.
he's the
So the answer is both.
Alright. So, Micah, what would you say is some of your biggest influences, and what would you say some of the biggest influences you try to bring for this project?
Biggest influences for myself.
Death groups.
Hey man, Death Grips.
Hey.
I love me some Death Grips.
One word at a time.
I like
Death.
Death. I love Death.
Death Grips.
Also, Death Grips. I love them, but I wouldn't say they necessarily influenced me as
Death
a
Grips
musician.
really influenced the soul.
No, Death for sure. Fallujah. Deftones.
Nice.
The Mars Volta. There's a
Those
lot.
are your personal influences, but I feel like the influences that you bring to the band are probably a little different. Like, I feel like you bring some of that sleep.
Yeah, I
influence.
definitely Sleep, Electric Wizard. For vocals, probably Whitechapel.
Honestly, yeah.
Yes.
There's a reason
Bro.
his band
Nice.
is taking him for
Yes.
Whitechapel, early Suicide Silence, like the cleansing
Mitch.
era.
The Mitch era.
The Mitch era.
Yeah.
Well, early Mitch era, I would say.
That's
Still so excited. I'm still so excited that fucking AB yells fucking episode.
Yeah, definitely stuff like that. It's kind of a mix for me. For sure.
Oh man. So, what is the best concert you've ever been to? We'll start with you, Micah.
Ooh.
I know what I would say.
The first show I ever went to, probably, Oh Sleeper. I went to see them. They were the only band playing. They were shooting a music video, and they just put $5 tickets out. They were just like, "Hey, it's $5 show.
That's
Everyone
a
come
great fucking idea when you're bigger.
Oh,
yeah.
and it was the most full I've ever seen The Door back when the
Oh,
Door was still
oh,
around.
wow.
That was called The Door.
Yeah.
The Door. It was
The
huge.
Christian venue.
I'm
Yeah.
talking- there were
Yeah.
people
If you
watching
were a
the
Christian-
show.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Played
Let me
there.
put my beer down.
My dad played
Christian
there.
venue.
Dude,
This
there were
sounds
people
upsetting.
standing outside, like at the door, watching
Yeah.
the show because there wasn't enough room. It was so packed. I was standing in the middle of the venue when the show started, and by the time like
Is that
they
is
hit
that
the
the
first
original door that had the fucking like the
It was
what
the
is
door.
it, the fucking runway?
It was on Jeep
well,
Ellen.
no, it was, how do you call it, like a fucking fashion show runway.
Yeah.
The door that had the fucking, like, you could walk straight down the middle of.
I don't
think so.
Well, they had
I
like
don't know.
the
I
stage,
never
and they
went
had
to the
like
door.
they had like a platform
you
straight
did.
down the middle.
I went to the door after it was called like 25,
No, we
13.
played the door before, while it was
With
still called
Ashen.
The Door. Yes, we played with Ashen.
Hey, everybody go on Spotify right now, search Ashen, listen to them.
It's capital ASH and then lowercase
E-N. Yep.
Very important.
Listen to the boys in Ashen.
But just to say, I started in the middle, and as soon as their lead guitarist hit the first note, I was at the front, and that was not by
Oh,
choice. The entire
This
crowd went
large
like this.
motherfucker made his way to the front. Surprise, surprise.
He got shoved.
No,
in the
I
front.
got sandwiched into the front. I couldn't breathe. But greatest show I've ever been to for sure.
So, what is your favorite local band now? I know I've asked this. This question was definitely asked on the first episode. What is your favorite local band that you can't be involved with? So all of us have Lament and Stone Wolf out of the question, and I'd say, yeah, no, everybody else is okay.
Do they have to be active?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Toto Poderoso. Toto Poderoso was very tasty. Very, like, they brought a lot of, like,
Is? Ben, I have spoken with Ben recently, and he did say he was working on their mastering.
Okay,
So,
cool.
I don't know.
They're really good. They bring a lot of, like, Chemist vibes, a lot of that cool dueling guitar stuff. Very proggy, very stoner.
Yeah, Toto is definitely. They were on the short list for Cannibal. Now, also they were on season 1 and 2 like they were. We wanted every band back, but Combat hasn't been able. They have a very busy schedule with how everything.
Combat's blowing up.
I mean, just is what it is.
It is what it
Then
is.
also Toto Ryan moved to Oklahoma, and
Yeah.
so they haven't had as much. Then who else was on the first?
Malconstruct.
and that is half the band lives down in Austin. So
Yeah.
if Aiden's down to come up, I would make a fucking 7-man bill happen. Message the boys right now. We got 33 seconds.
Oh, we calling it?
No. Sorry. Here, let me find another question I give you.
Yeah. I was gonna
you
say,
just gave me an idea. I'm
I
down to
want to
have
shout
this
out
one.
one more band real quick before we go to.
One more band?
One. Yeah, I want to shout out Pale Fade. I've been following them since their name was Shanksy, and they like got a new vocalist, and their guitarist are really doing shit. Really noisy, like shoegazy type of weird, just experimental shit. Pale Fade, check them out. All one word.
So, what was song number 1?
Like the first song that we ever wrote?
No. For the first song that we were, for the episode for today.
Oh,
today.
Vermin.
So what song are we going into? Song number 2.
Frozen North.
So any information about Vermin or Frozen North that you want to throw out there?
They were hard to nail down for me personally at first.
Vermin took a
They
while.
were hard, like drum wise, trying to figure out how to play, but we just practiced and locked it in, and now it sounds pretty decent, I would say.
I agree. It took a while to get.
So that was
parts.
Vermin. So we're going into Frozen North. Any feelings about Frozen North's recording process, or any shows that y'all felt were very good for that moment?
Frozen North is one of the songs we worked on kind of later. It's one of our more recent songs. So we haven't had a lot of shows where we've played it yet. We have maybe 2,
maybe 2,
3.
possibly, yeah.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 2.
So
I'm just used to hearing it because I've heard it so many times.
Exactly.
Well, also that's been one of the songs that, like, from the moment y'all finished it, it was like, no, that's done.
It was one of the
It was
first
the
ones we
earliest
actually
recordings.
nailed down.
Yeah, we were actually still writing it when we started recording it.
Like we finished that one, and it was just like everybody was all collectively like done.
Okay, so I guess something to know about Frozen North is that
go ahead.
The drum part that Mark does, he came up within the studio.
So is that the one that you do? That's it. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But yeah,
So an Easter egg. Listen on the album. You can hear it at the end of one of the songs. And you hear that's it. That's the.
It might be Gravity.
Now, if we're wrong about which song it is, that's fair. But we will find that in the album. Check it.
I was
sneak. Buy the album. Find out which song.
Buy the album. Figure out
I was
what it is.
I was gonna say something else real quick too. Earlier we were talking about Micah had asked what kind of band or what bands do we all kind of have in common, and we couldn't like nail down an exact answer. But I was thinking about it. I think just metal in general, the aggressiveness, just the hardness of it. I think that's what we all.
What about the Chariot? We didn't ask.
We might all.
But that's what I'm saying. They're still pretty aggressive.
I think we all
they're still
fuck
pretty.
with the Chariot,
It's
right?
still aggressive. It's
No, y'all all
face.
fuck with Coheed. And that honestly is a very easy answer for like the description. Now Coheed.
There's a difference though in our levels of devotion.
Here's how I would describe y'all if I had to put it on a
I'm interested to hear
honest
this,
answer. Like this is what I just came up with, like a fresh answer. Y'all are Coheed if you dose them with like 500 milligrams of fucking THC.
Thank you. That's what I want to be. Is stoner
This
Coheed.
is like take Coheed and just like
Put them on the weed. Yeah. That's all I want to
slow them down a little bit, a little sludgier.
I'll fucking
Josh
drink
is
to
a pretty
that.
badass drummer.
Alright, so
Can we take a quick break?
That's
no,
what you
yeah,
told me.
we're breaking. So wait, what song we going into?
Frozen North.
Frozen North. We'll be right back.
Slayer of giants. continues to melt the frost. You cannot save what has been lost. The magic has faded, the stones have decayed. Thy goddess will not remain. Set your ties, the one that she sees, like herself, like the Lord of the Trees. You are the one that brings the winter. You are the one that brings the snow. You are the one that's born of the river. Let not your heart be filled with sorrow. A palace made of ice and stone, a frozen thing to God will grow. You are the Lord of the snow. You are the snow.
Welcome back to Audio Carnage Podcast. You just heard Frozen North.
Yes, Frozen.
So, what is your favorite instrument brand? So, Mark, to make it started out symbols.
Okay, I'm gonna have to think
Ooh,
about that.
I would say Zildjian.
What about
Like-
heads?
I would say Remo.
What about shells?
Mapex. Right?
Oh, curved question. Pedals.
That was DW. I like a lot of
Yeah.
DW stuff, so I'm gonna probably just say DW just for a lot of
Alright,
other
cool.
stuff. I'm
Fair
a big
enough.
DW fan.
Micah, what about you?
I like Ibanez. That's still my favorite bass. I think is my first bass.
The
yes.
5
You
string
heard it.
Ibanez.
You've heard it today, baby.
And then for amps, I've only ever used PV, so I probably have to say
PV is a
PV.
solid one. I've been using them
Depending
for a
on
while.
the year of PV that you get, like, you can get a fantastic fucking PV.
Alright, now we're getting to the more particular. What about y'all? Favorite brand?
I don't know if I have any particular loyalty
You
to
had to
any
pick a brand.
but
They're
I
gonna
gotta say
endorse you.
Orange makes a very quality product.
Yes,
There's a
they
reason
do.
they're like a standard for a lot of
Yes, they
bands within
are.
our genre, and even outside of our genre. They just make a really good product. So
Oh, well, their clean amp is like, they have such a good, warm, clean tone all the way to a very distorted, dirty, like, driven out
fuzz.
tone. Like,
They got the fuzz.
They
If
can
you had
do
to have no pedals, I would take like an orange, like.
Well, yeah. Your amp,
like
you
a
can go it as
Rocker
hot
Verb.
as you need. Like
Like
the,
a Rocker Verb 30.
the only thing y'all gotta do is abuse my discount and get you a.
Hey, shh.
Put that online.
So if I'm gonna talk about favorite brands, honestly, it's gonna be stupid, but like Squire. I think.
Excuse me, abuse Caleb's discount.
Yeah,
because
I know.
This,
I know
exi-
we're there.
this was recorded like in September of 2021.
Yeah, whatever. So I love Fender guitars and I love orange
Because he was working
amplifiers.
there then.
if it wasn't obvious, we're all kind of fucked up.
Send me.
This whole album was brought to you by Sean.
I shouldn't say. I shouldn't
For the
say,
record, they
Yeah, I shouldn't
know
say
the
a-
format of the podcast.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Like this is
Yeah,
this is
this
episode. What is this? This is fucking episode 50.
Woo!
50 fucking episodes.
50! Come on, you gotta be louder than that.
So
So
any other
yeah,
brands?
Fender. Fender and Orange
He is a
Squire
Fender. His first one, the first guitar he played with in this band
was a Telecaster, and then I moved on to a Jaguar, and then I have a Jazzmaster, and really offsets are my favorite. There are a lot of really cool like boutique brands that are out there. Dunable is one. there are a few brands I'm blanking on the name, but offset guitars with like a really fast neck is pretty much what I'm into as far as guitars. Anything 3/4 scale. I got small hands. I got small fingers.
The proof
Same
is
So give me that 3.
proof that small
3/4.
fingers don't mean you can't shred.
No, you don't need.
So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know this answer, but do you prefer to write in the studio or in the room?
I prefer to write in the living room, like recording on my own, like
How we call that the studio?
the
Like isolation, like alone.
yeah. Well,
Well, like think about it like red light fever. That whenever you know you're alone, that's where I would mean
Yeah.
like a studio kind of thing. But versus in the room, like you have your boys just fucking jam the shit out.
Okay,
gotcha.
so-
We usually, typically we write.
Y'all are
alone
y'all started
and
as
we-
jam also. No.
we Issa and I would jam out a lot of the guitar and the riffs and like kind of we would figure out our own parts, figure out where the lyrics are, and then
we'd bring that.
bring that to Mark.
I remember practicing Attack a lot when I first joined. We played Attack like a lot, just practicing over and over. Like not even lyrics too, just instrumental.
Attack was
only.
the first song that we wrote together.
How many do y'all have total?
11 right now. And then for what we're working on album 2, by my count, is between 5 and 7 songs.
Well, y'all definitely have 55 minutes. I know that for a
Yes,
fact.
album 1 is 55.
So also let's
Yeah.
switch away from this iPad for a second. Let's talk about fucking recording real fast, because for those
Let's
who
do
haven't
it.
been aware, we have been working on an album for the past year and like 2 months. Slow and steady.
Year and
They've also
3,
been
I think,
paying
by
me,
now.
so they've been taking their time because they've been taking care of me as a producer. But it's been slow, working on everything detailed oriented. What's been your fucking least favorite part about the fucking process?
Oh my
Having to listen to the album
God.
so many
Oh.
Yep.
I'm gonna
The
raise.
more we listen to it, the more just like, oh, I just want to like just.
That is,
Yeah, the amount of
I-
time I've said the term critical ear.
It's
that
so.
and isolated voice tracks still kill.
Isolated voice.
Oh,
hearing,
yeah.
Hearing myself
Isolated voice tracks are terrible.
by myself, dry. Just I
It's
don't
like,
need to ever
let
speak
me
again.
let me get rid of the reverb real fast to make sure that we're not having any issues.
Yep.
Just sing real fast. What? Just crisp. All you
That's
hear is
been-
fucking drivers in your ears. Just
Yeah.
So that's been my least favorite part. But my most favorite part has been the growth and
oh yeah.
the small details that get written in the studio where it's like, hey, what if you just try this?
Oh,
what if
there's a
you tried-
couple sections
uh,
that Vermin has
so
a
the
section.
Ain't a Vermin,
Yeah.
where Mark
Yeah,
does the double
No,
drive.
no, that was
So
a fucking
that was
exciting moment.
actually recommended by Krishna,
Yeah, our
Element's
old roommate.
original guitarist. And
You're right.
so that part came out just from the studio, just like, hey, what if you try this? And now it's like part of the song. We play it every single time.
Yeah.
I think
A
I just
lot of
think
my
it's
vocal
like
parts
it's good to
came
have
out.
like just friends around hanging around the studio.
The
sometimes like
energy
that.
in the
Yeah,
studio
yeah.
is a very
For
good
sure. For sure.
Like you have to have that fucking peak.
That's
That's
having
why.
friends just hanging out and just chilling, listening. And
Well, Joe and Sam gave me shit the first time we actually tracked drums as a band. I fucking set up lights and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, fucking theatrics for the sake of theatrics."
No,
We
it's
did that
important.
now.
It's fun.
No,
Yeah.
I'm trying to fucking make it feel better.
It's fun.
Like
Yeah.
it's the vibe.
The vibe is important.
Yeah.
for
Very,
Sure.
very much so. So out of the album, what's your favorite song?
Storm Rider. It's the best song. It's the best one.
I think my favorite's gonna be Vermin.
Vermin's strong as
Vermin.
fuck. That's been the one I've shown people the most so far.
That one's my
Like
favorite.
y'all's
heard-
album is like my current highest fucking that is the best quality and the most effort that we put in. Y'all's effort and my effort has been matched on that. It's the top shit.
There's different
top
things
tier
It has
audio-
been, it has
is
been
the
a
peak of audio
Herculean
Carnage
effort. You know,
studio that I have.
learning how to be a band and writing an album is completely different than being a band and performing live. It's
Yes.
It's
Well,
two
also
different
y'all
things.
communicate very well. I haven't. I mean, y'all might have had it in private chats, but like I haven't noticed any fucking headbutts. Like no fucking areas.
We don't really.
No fucking
We kind of had.
y'all fucking.
We kind of had headbutts during our early areas, or early era, but at this point, the division of labor has kind of come down to where we all feel really
know your parts and
comfortable and know our parts within
You
the
trust
band.
each other also.
Yeah.
Well, my secret is I always disagree with Oscar, and I just don't say anything.
Yeah, it's true. He always dissents to me. He's like, I have to argue with Oscar.
I do.
But it's good because he brings out a lot of points that I would miss if he didn't just disagree with me.
Yeah.
So even like the memes aside, like jokes aside, I appreciate that he dissents because it forces me to see a perspective that I would miss otherwise.
Well, you know my thoughts?
I would love to hear them.
That's my vocalist.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's my bassist, you son of a bitch.
And vocalists.
And my vocalist, you're my vocalist first.
Yeah, I mean, disagreements are always going to happen. I mean, that's just part of the creative process. But we're very good about like deciding on what sounds the best for the band overall. Like we're very good at coming to an agreement.
I always think teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
at the end of the day, you have to set your ego aside for the sake of the song
Oh,
But-
yes.
but those
and
Oh,
the
yes.
band at the end of the day.
But those
But
different
that's one thing
perspectives-
I've always been impressed about y'all is y'all have always been like a collective. There's been a form of like sitting back. Hey, Ethan!
Hey, Ethan!
Hello, Ethan.
hello.
That's Ethan. He's getting back from work. He just had a long day. He's probably tired as fuck.
Cheers, dude.
So, what would you say is your biggest non-musical inspirations from any media? So, video games, movies, TV shows. What would be some of the things that like really help feed to your core personality? Like for me, I love
Wait, personality or band?
for you. No, for you as a
Hold
person.
on, we don't want to hear like a furry and die speech.
Dang. Going straight for the throat.
I love you.
Actually, it's going straight.
I'm speechless.
I think it's
What?
Okay, can we
Hold
cut?
on.
Can we cut?
Yeah, hold on a
Cut.
fucking second.
No, we can't cut
Yeah.
anything. We're live.
Wait, first of all,
No,
Hey,
for sure.
hey guys, and we're live in Denton, Texas.
first of all, I
Hey, Burr!
First of all, it's Vor, okay?
Burr!
no.
F-U-R
I am not aligned with the furry community.
space.
He's a
Dot,
rogue.
dot, dot, dot.
He's a rogue.
Yeah, I'm a rogue furry. It's Stone Wolf for a reason. Oh no, fuck that. No, influences as far as like just in general.
Just like art.
Find
Just
your
a
own
lot
acorns.
of you know, I think most, if not all of us in the band are nerds. A lot of nerd culture. So Lord of the Rings,
video games. shit.
a ton of video. We all were gamers.
The pain and suffering from software games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elden Ring and Bloodborne.
Sesame Street.
We all.
Oh my
we're all-
God. Who owns it on PC? No, you do.
I don't have it yet.
Oh, bro, so you, me, and Cody are
It'll
about
happen, yeah.
to... No, we are
we'll do
about
it.
to
We'll figure it
seamless
out. Yeah,
co-op on fucking Elden Ring.
But
We're
So,
all.
you know
we're
the
all-
best part? We can fucking go as fast as we want. Fucking, we can fake it to get out the first boss in like a half hour. But
We're all also ex-Christians.
I think all of us, yeah, we're
That-
all
we're all
raised.
So
Ex
that-
Machina.
Yeah, but I mean, religion definitely plays a big part in
Stone
how we
Wolf.
how
It's
we
the
were
worst.
shaped, and like I guess also how we moved on from that, and we definitely take a lot of things like some of our lyrics, for example, in Attack and Cosmic. We kind of have this little nod. It's sort of almost a play against, being wholly devoted to like a god. But we have this line in both those songs. They mirror each other a little bit. But the everlasting God, and in Attack, it's everlasting God
laughing
at
our
sobs.
sobs.
So we're talking about the Godhead is laughing at us.
Humanity's suffering.
So,
Yep,
one
and then
thing
in Cosmic, it's everlasting God.
And prepared to give it all.
I'm prepared to give it all. Give my life some meaning. Take it away.
So-
it's sacrificing yourself for a god that doesn't actually
Give a fuck about
So one thing
Anyways.
I've noticed, especially as a consumer of the product that y'all have been putting out for a while, is it realistically, whenever I hear some of the terms, for example, everlasting God laughing at our sobs.
Exactly.
What I hear is I see fucking orcs screaming out to their NPCs to the guy fucking on World of Warcraft, or like literally that you have these characters in this world you're building, and like you're not being sacrilegious. You're using this as an imagery to create this fucking world. It's kind of like
sacrilegious.
No, sacrilegion is sacrilegion is
point.
whenever you're aggressive to somebody else about their actual beliefs. You're using beliefs as imagery, creating this fucking story that you don't have.
You actually touch upon a really important point.
In a very summarized version of what we just talked about, everlasting God laughing at our sobs. Those are a single line that fucking lays down like this concept of, even if you're not a fucking religious, if you are religious and you hear that line, all of a sudden that everlasting gobstoppers. Everlasting God laughing at our
So to that
sobs.
point, like,
Well,
I was
it's
raised
a
on Willy
heavy
Wonka
term.
too. Like,
So for somebody who has this, like, the From Software version, you think about the NPCs or NPCs.
NPCCs.
Sorry, I've been
No, you're
drinking
good.
all day.
We've been partying and we've been having a fun
But
time.
you think about this concept of like these people fucking. Yet again, I think about like the fucking thrall and fucking ogre.
Well, so that's
it's
like
a
a really
group-
important
you
thing,
hear
right?
it,
Like,
it feels very fucking Lord of the Rings, or very like Middle
think
Earth, or
Epic
fucking,
fantasy.
Epic-
you feel the
epic
lore. It doesn't
fantasy
feel
is really an
sacrilegious to me.
important part.
Y'all
a really
never,
important
as
part.
a consumer,
Yeah.
felt like a.
Well, anyone notice that?
Yeah,
Well,
they-
Lament feels regularly. I work for fucking churches often, and
Yeah.
I cut, curse, and fucking drink, and do all the things that you shouldn't do marketable.
Right.
But the thing is that lyrically, we are all the time anti-religious.
Yes.
I've never felt anti-religious about y'all's shit. Y'all's have always been like, all I've ever seen from Stone Wolf is like y'all weaving a fucking lore. Like,
Yeah, well, so that's the
it's like
most important part
Saruman's
about, like,
not fucking a Satanist.
I-
No, he's a fucking character in a fucking story. Y'all are creating a great, grandiose story with all the fucking layers of y'all's own.
To kind of bring it back to like influences, it's something that I've kind of talked about with Issa and kind of like more shared amongst the band. Is my vision for the band is I want to be the Coheed of stoner metal, right? There's this gap, there's this void there amongst the stoner genre where like you have a lot of bands that like they'll reference horror movies, or if you take Warp Riders for example by The Sword, it's one concept album, right? But there is no continuous lore that is built up amongst stoner metal at all. You have like even Mastodon, like Leviathan is a concept album, Crack the Sky is a concept album, but you don't have a continuous story.
You want
And
to be
so
the first band.
Across
Y'all want to be the first band that can justify having magic cards as a character.
exactly,
Yeah,
like we're all really
Yeah.
fucking nerds.
We're
like
nerds. We like Magic the Gathering. We like Dungeons.
So
and
y'all
Dragons.
know that there was a whole conversation about the bootleg magic
dude,
cards.
I really
Well,
fuck with
for the
dude.
record, I think that y'all can get away
But
with
check
it.
this
Do
out.
it.
I was gonna say like
Joe will be down.
when I first joined, like I never played Dungeons and Dragons, but when they explained to me like the concept of the band and like the songs and the story, I was like, that's really cool. I've never heard anything else like that, so like I'm down for it. So why not? Let's see what we
Well,
can
Yeah,
figure out.
that's been our main, like, from the start.
I didn't appreciate it until I honestly, I think the everlasting God laughing at our sobs was the line that stuck with me as
Thank
the
you.
producer.
I wrote that.
Like But just hearing y'all as a collective doing all of y'all's parts like together, it was like all of a sudden I realized like I felt myself in the I got out of the perspective of the producer, and all of a sudden I felt like a peasant in a fucking medieval setting. That's literally like, why is everything terrible? Everlasting God laughing at my sobs. My fucking crops are fucking... Yeah,
there will
exactly.
be no mercy.
But that was the line that fucking sold me to the fucking, like, oh, shit, yes. I feel the fucking dopamine drip right now as I... like that little...
Thank you, yeah,
fucking,
like, that's complete validation for everything we do as artists.
But that's that line that, like, really lays out the, like, medieval, but, like, there's, like, a...
Well, so that's the whole vibe of the story, is that it's this early planet where they have like the technology.
Well, you feel like they're going up, but all of a sudden it's just like
it's
this.
a very high fantasy.
But then by the time they're realizing their goals, even low fantasy, there's not much magic. There's the ultimate, but the ultimate power is one guy, a wizard.
There's
goddess.
and
the seven goddesses.
It's not quite
Anyways,
high
we
fantasy.
have a whole lore. All right.
Well, check the lore.
We'll have it out.
Yeah.
We're writing a D&D
Anyways,
module.
that is a big thing about it. That's a very important point.
We all love nerd shit.
Alright. Favorite dessert? Mine is tres leches.
Oh, boo! Minus Trace Lake. Okay, this guy first.
Fuck. I mean,
You're only booing me because I chose the best answer.
Yeah!
right? I don't know. Fuck.
You're trying to be like saying.
I'll go
I'm gonna pass for
first.
now. Go.
Red velvet cake.
Okay.
I know it's technically chocolate, but red. But
Okay.
specifically, with the difference with red velvet is it's usually served with cream cheese icing. That slaps to me.
That's just good. I like red velvet.
I got one. There's a donut. Special run.
Nice.
Voodoo Donuts in Austin.
Oh,
nice. It was a limited run. It was like a peach donut.
Oh.
It's the greatest dessert I've ever had. And I'll never have it again because I think that was it.
Wow.
I'm gonna raise you peach donut, and I'm going to go the private chef of the Fort Worth Modern Art Museum, creating an off-menu dessert item which was candied maple bacon wrapped around goat cheese. And that was the most incredible thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. It was an off-menu. He was like, hey, you know what? You're a big client for us. We're going to make this for you. I'm only going to make this once. And I was like...
Damn.
I've never heard this. We're just bringing this up.
I used to do weddings.
The lighting.
Yeah, the lighting gig. Yeah,
Okay.
at Fort Worth Modern Art.
I'm gonna just say chocolate cheesecake for now. Chocolate cheesecake.
Boo.
I like chocolate cheesecake.
That's good.
I like
chocolate cheesecake.
I don't like regular cheesecake. I like chocolate cheesecake.
Get this hoity-toity ass guy out of here.
Get this goat cheese.
He was my maple bacon.
Alright, so something less something less controversial. What is song 3?
Song 3 is Storm Rider.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Storm Rider.
Dragon rides that its eyes, a storm upon its feet. Wars like swords, and you still die. The helpless
Congratulations,
Alright, so
Gentlemen,
doctor,
doctor, gentlemen,
associate.
doctor.
compadre,
Doctor.
comrade.
Yeah.
Everyone's grabbing each other.
So, what is the weirdest thing in your wallet or keychain?
Oh, I have my keychain right here.
Actually, hold
So
on.
I have
Oh, he's leaving right now.
I have
Mini
my
symbol wins.
I have my mini cymbal and I have my Puerto Rico guitar. from
You
Puerto
gotta
Rico.
get a mini drumstick,
A
bro.
Winco bottle opener and my drum key.
I
I think
have
mini
a.
symbol's the best.
I've got two things. Oscar's gonna call me a weeb for one of them, but my girlfriend got me this. It's this is from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's pretty cool. Pretty
It's
cool.
fucking anime.
Anyways, it's my best friendo. It was cute. My girlfriend got it for me. Anyways,
No,
and then this like cool
Oh, that's
like
pretty
Roman
cool.
helmet.
That's Spartan.
My friend, one of my friends went on a trip to Italy, brought souvenirs back. So that's what's on my
A
keychain.
bunch of like empty gift cards in my wallet that I never took.
My keychain says "I heart my cat" on it, and then I also have a Liberty Bell bottle opener. That's about the most exciting thing on my keychain.
So a mini symbol wins.
Mini symbol wins.
Man, it wins.
Hey, you know how he got that mini symbol? My discount.
This is true.
So my discount essentially.
My discount. I work there.
So-
I paid.
What is your favorite musical?
I hate musicals.
I don't like musicals
So
either.
you have to choose
Ooh.
one.
Nightmare
I'm
Before
not
Christmas.
watching any of them.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm watching.
No, gun to your head. You have
I'm
to
watching across.
gun
the
to Lakin's head.
I'm watching
Oh,
Across the
man.
Universe because it's Lakin's favorite musical, and I'm also on mushrooms.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Wait, hold on, Mark. You're not out of this question.
Come back to me. Come
Just
back
say
to me.
The Miz.
No,
Just say
I'm not
The
saying
Just
that.
say
I know what that is. I'm not saying that. You know what? I got you. No, I got you.
Fuck,
Oh,
we gotta
wait,
do
wait, wait,
Oh,
wait.
you got it,
I got it. Annie.
Okay.
Annie.
Yeah, okay.
Annie. Let's go.
Settle down.
I'll choose it tomorrow.
I
It's
really
only a gay away.
I really liked Rodgers and Hammerstein. So like Oklahoma or Fiddler on the
That's
Roof.
fucking
Okay.
weird.
I also like a good classic, Singing in the Rain. It's a classic. I enjoy that one. So those are.
Disappointed we haven't had Sweeney Todd yet, but go ahead.
I was about to say Sweet Top.
Oh, no, it doesn't count.
No.
Alright,
That
So-
one is
so-
that one has one
a
of
very
my favorite
serious-
song from any music.
I
What's
can
that?
I can attest.
What isn't it called Is it called The Pit?
I do like Johnny Depp.
Is that what it's called? I forget what is. It's
Who can't?
the song.
Whatever they
It's
were
like
dropping the bodies in.
well, it's his
He's a
rant.
god.
His rant about London. That's my favorite song.
You
from any music.
all deserve
England is my
to
city.
die.
Yeah, it's very
Okay,
metal.
yeah.
It's very metal.
That is my favorite fucking line of that movie. Yes, agreed. So, serious. Compose yourself, gentlemen.
I'm composed.
Favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Grown Ups 2?
Jack and Jill. I love Jack and Jill.
No,
Fucking out.
we started out here. We started out
It's up
here. We
there.
somehow went down
It's
here.
up there.
It was
It's
like,
up there.
We had
It's
all
pretty
this
funny.
rage. Oh,
Okay.
but we just
Well,
started.
I mean,
See?
wait, hold on. Okay.
guys,
Well,
just
Happy Gilmore's a given. That's
Checkmate.
okay. That's those are given.
Done.
Those are given. But like in terms of like recent.
no, little Nicky. What the fuck?
Oh, that's a good one too. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I can't even. My brain transfers.
Jack and Jill and
It's
grown ups.
It's like if you're trying to kill
All
time.
right, guys.
Oh,
that was Stone Wolf. We're out of here.
Oh my god. Well, okay. Well,
Don't fire album.
everyone's gonna say Happy Gilmore. Everybody's gonna say like the basics. So I was just like try to throw something. I'll even say this. What's the one where he's a jeweler? What's it called? What he's
You
doing?
can't say Uncut Gems
Uncut
after
Gems.
Jack and Jill. That's cheating.
No. Okay. Well, everyone's gonna say Happy Gilmore.
stop.
Everybody's gonna say Happy Gilmore. Everybody's gonna say Big Daddy.
Thank you.
Click is good too.
Hold on,
I like
Well,
that.
you're just gonna have to have much better poker
Okay, but-
faces
okay,
to start out there.
Tell me, okay. Well, if that's okay, if you're gonna do that, then tell me your worst Adam Sandler film then.
Jack and Jill.
Still Grown Ups 2.
Okay, well, I would say Grown Ups 2 is worse than Jack and Jill.
Bro, honestly, I forgot about both of them.
Jack and Jill's
I
funny.
didn't realize they either existed.
Have you? When was the last time you watched Jack and
Oh
Jill?
my god, I'm broken.
I forgot it existed
Exactly.
before you said it.
You gotta watch it again. It's I mean it's bad, but it's not like it's like that's not his like best film.
Oh man, I gotta say, what's your favorite Adam Sandler question?
He's so prolific. It's hard to really. It's
Talk
really
about
hard to
That's
That's
what I'm
figure out.
saying.
It's
Everybody's
funny.
gonna like everything he does. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it,
Not Jack and Jill.
All right, if your drummer was an animal, what kind of animal would it be?
Adam Sandler.
No, we already have an answer for that.
I was gonna say Sid from fucking Ice Age.
The Raven.
No, I'm the Raven.
Bro, look at
He's
him.
the eagle.
He's the
He's
eagle.
Sid from Ice Age.
No, he's the wolf. He's the eagle.
He's the eagle.
I'm the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have been the bear.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about your drummer.
We all have an animal.
There is a okay, yeah.
So
It's
according
hard
to
to
lore,
find it.
hold on, time
Our
out.
gay community obviously agrees you're the bear.
No.
It's part of the lore. There are 4 animal
We
knights.
love y'all and respect y'all. Go ahead.
The wolf, the bear, the eagle, and the raven. And we kind of did that so that each one of us could represent one of those different knights as
The
part
wolf,
of the
the
story.
bear, the eagle, the raven.
The wolf, the bear, the eagle, the raven.
Yeah.
We did 1 terrestrial and 1 aerial for like breaking up the. You know.
So technically 2 aerial, 2 terrestrial.
Yeah, well, I meant like instead of
Bang,
us
bang,
both
bang, bang.
being the land animals,
Yeah.
we broke it up so that it was like
The rhythm and the
one
guitars.
of each and then one of each. Anyways,
Super important lore.
They all die at the end, so it's fine.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
they do, yeah.
hey. Spoilers for the Magic. Hey, spoilers for the Magic the Gathering cards.
They all.
Branded, only at fucking Hastings.
I swear.
Not
So,
sponsored by
alright, final question of the night. What does your grandma smell like?
Which one?
The one that is dead.
graveyard.
I mean,
Actually, both of my grandmas are alive right now. Currently.
Not the truth.
Smells like cheap Macy's, cheap
So
Dillard's.
No, I'm telling you facts about it. I took some fucking biological samples.
my
Somebody's lying to you.
What's happening right now?
I don't know.
His family genealogy's all fucked up and he doesn't know it.
It's okay.
I'm trying to think about grandma's perfume. What it smelled like.
Macy's, Dillard's, JCPenney's.
It's like a really flowery, rosy type perfume. I don't know. I haven't seen it in like 8 years.
One of my grandmas smells like mothballs, pretty much. Just like
Ooh,
must.
gross.
And, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Other
How's
than
your
mothballs and urine, I suppose. Alright, so fuck, marry, kill your own band. Also, that means somebody's getting left out.
Who's killing
I'm
me?
gonna fuck my god. I'm gonna marry Issa. I'm gonna kill Mark.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than being dead.
I suppose you can leave yourself out.
I'm gonna fuck myself.
I mean, that's, aside from the obvious.
Reach around.
I'm gonna kill
That's more
everybody.
Come on,
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
answer,
yeah.
you cowards.
I'm gonna
Come
kill
on.
everybody. Everybody.
Right?
I'm gonna kill
Alright,
everybody.
Why not all 3 for all of them in sequential order?
Fuck, then marry, then murder. Fuck, marry, murder. Fuck, marry, murder.
I'm gonna do marry, murder, then fuck in that order.
Who you
Big brain.
No.
Each of us individually.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna marry them, and then I'm
Give the
gonna
benefits.
kill them, and then I'm gonna.
I could
keep
be
them
good
as-
to
Alright,
you.
who are you
I could be
marrying
good
first?
to you.
Who gets married first? Who is on the pedestal first?
Let me see. I'm gonna say.
I'm the only one who's
This
brave
is
enough.
marry.
Yeah.
Fucking kill is kind of
I understand.
So I'm not.
Please kill me.
Because you want it. No, I'm gonna fuck you.
You get murdered.
You
Great.
get murdered twice. Yeah. so-
Alright, your turn. Mark, answer.
Oh god damn.
Fuck, marry, kill.
He's gonna kill me, it's fine.
I don't know who to kill.
Yeah, for the record.
He's
you've been the
hey,
most
he knows who to
wanted
fuck,
of the
and
right?
he knows who to marry, but he doesn't know who to kill.
Neither of them killed you, right?
That's true. That's true. Neither one of them killed me.
I'll go kill you.
Oh, that's fine. I'm
fuck
okay
yourself.
with
You're either getting fucked or married, bud.
Mike is a good man.
I'm gonna marry you.
Why do you think
Fucking
it's
you.
sold?
that. Wait, what?
Fucking you.
See?
I'm marrying him. I'm killing you.
That's
Here we
fine.
go.
Alright, and that is
I kill
a...
myself after this release.
I told you.
That is a checkmate.
All three for
Oh,
each
well,
of you.
okay, right.
All three for each.
Good game.
Checkmate.
Not even close, but yeah.
Alright, I've said it multiple times. Final question. What's your comfort food?
Pizza.
I would say.
Or Killer's Tacos. I know everyone hates them, but I love Killer's Tacos so much.
I like Rusty's tacos.
Joey fucking knows. They know my house. They deliver us.
I will look you in the eyes. Here's how Killer's Tacos can fucking redeem themselves in the music scene eyes.
Stop playing shitty DIY bands.
No.
We need
No.
us.
No.
Like
no.
us.
Otherwise,
no,
we wouldn't
no.
exist.
I will convert you with a single statement.
Hear it.
Take up fucking J&J's old policy. Single taco, single beer.
Give it to the bands, yeah.
Give a ticket to the band. Taco, beer. Free taco, free beer for the bands
Do that at
playing.
Division?
Why the fuck you think we like J&J's? It was a smelly ass fucking yeasty ass fucking venue. Underground, dirty as fuck, no good noise, no fucking sound engineer,
Creaky,
no good lighting,
but
nothing.
dirty.
But you know what I
Good
got?
pizza
Fucking good ass pizza.
and beer.
Good ass
Good ass beer. I got a fucking slice and a Schlitz.
Yeah.
Killers, fucking take that advice. I love y'all. Y'all are great. We are fucking Audio Carnage podcast. This was the first time that we had
You could find us at on Facebook, Instagram.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Actually, you know what? We're gonna back that up. What is song number 3?
3 is Storm Rider. That's
We
what we
already did
came out
Storm
of
Rider.
into this one.
Yeah.
The last song is
So,
Gravity
hold on.
Displacement Field.
Back
Generator.
up, back further.
Actually, we need to fast forward because we already did song 3. Backing up more would lead us to song 2. The last song is Gravity Displacement Field Generator.
So, Gravity, where was that on the list of songs that y'all like wrote in the order of their
So-
origin?
It wasn't for album 1.
Originally, that was written for album 2. And we...
It took so long
But
to
since
get
it was
album one out.
already finished, we were just like,
Hey, let's throw it on there.
throw it on album 1 as the epilogue of
We were just
album
jamming
1
it a
/
lot,
the
too.
prologue for album
We're
2.
jamming it a lot, and also, as
It's a
part
banger.
of the lore, the lyrics for Gravity, which is our shorthand title for it, lead kind of from album 1, which is the medieval side of it, into album 2, which, as we're writing, is more of a
Hint, hint.
sci-fi, more spacey themed. So we'll see how that plays out.
So, we are late into the evening. It's been Audio Carnage Podcast. This is Stone Wolf, second episode. We still need to find out where they're fucking gonna be.
Where are we going to be?
Where you gonna be?
Where?
Where
How
are we
can you
located?
find us?
Okay, on Instagram, and is Facebook the same?
Yeah.
On Instagram and Facebook, at Stone Wolf Howls, one thing. We also have a YouTube.
To find us on YouTube, I found this out today. You have to type in Stone space Wolf
Denton.
space Denton, Texas.
Texas.
If you don't put that, you won't find it.
You can. You just have to scroll down.
There's a plethora
It's going on a
of
lot.
videos.
It's going on a lot. Denton, Texas.
We
still
also
on
have
So
we also have the Bandcamp, which will have our merch, our currently updated merch, which is stonewolfhowls.bandcamp.com. And then you can find us on Spotify, which
Stone Wolf.
2 words.
2 words.
Those-
There's a Stone Wolf band.
They suck. Get them out of here. Fuck them.
Final thing, everybody point right here and make a square. Now, right here. Like, imagine this square right here. So what we're
I'm
doing
seeing something
is
in the fourth
right here.
dimension.
This is going to be a QR code. This is going to be a link so that we can have a search for it.
That's
So,
nice.
a QR code right here in these boys' face. So
Right here.
This is
what we
nice
have
little
is
test
Stone
rack
Wolf
we
the
got
band.
going.
Right,
Alright.
right here.
Yeah, there we go.
Right here.
Alright, so guys, thank you so much for coming on for this episode.
Thank you
And also,
for
more
having us.
importantly, we are so excited to have this fucking shit done.
Yes.
The album is fucking finished.
For sure.
We have. Okay, so to have it on film, can we put it to mastering?
We can put it to mastering. It's done. Get it done.
I mean, by the time this comes out, it's done.
Yeah, no, it's finished.
Across the void